Before we begin the video, I recently found out that less than 5% of my unique viewers are subscribed, so if you support my content or would like to, I would like you to press the big old red button down there, and also parts of the audio aren't the best and the video is a little bit choppy at times. This is because we recorded over Zoom and the Zoom recording wasn't the best, so I apologize for that. Also, I can show parts of the reaction, but not all of it due to potential copyright issues with Square Enix. Also, you can turn on CC for subtitles. Big thank you to Mayuna from the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit Discord for helping me translate this video into Japanese. Alright, let's begin. This is John Jacobson.
People on YouTube know me because I was the Double Dream Hands guy.
He became famous for uploading a video of him dancing to his song Planet Rock.
And in it, I was teaching him some dance moves and things. And one of them, I was doing this move, and this little guy looked at me and said, "What do you call that?" And I said, "I don't know. I guess we'll call it Dream Hands."
Later, he uploaded a video called Double Dream Feed, which became a viral meme and is often used in comedic edits and very other comedic ways. I asked John for an interview about Final Fantasy XIV and asked if I could get his reaction to his dance being incorporated into a Long Falls performance. To quickly give you an explanation as to why I requested the interview to give you the full context, there is a game, Final Fantasy XIV. Whenever we do anything in the game, it's usually referred to as instanced content, so we need to load into a server and then 4 people will go into this content and start to do what they need to do. There was a dungeon that released 2 years ago called the Twinning, and the Twinning is sort of incredibly famous for having one of the catchiest songs in the game, and it became kind of a viral hit when somebody uploaded a video of them sort of going into the dungeon, and then they put over your dance of Double Dream Feed over it. They even modified the shirt color to be the corresponding colors of the rolls.
Oh my God. Make this stuff up. That's hysterical.
So when this one got released, it went a little bit viral in the community, and then later on, another dancer that went viral, Car Shearer, had their own dance that they did for an entirely separate thing onto the video as well. So recently, Final Fantasy XIV held a fan fest, and usually these are held in person. They are basically large gatherings of the community where the community gets to interact with the development team and vice versa. This time it had to be held digitally, but one of the main things that they wanted to incorporate was a large concert that usually isn't viewable by an online audience. One of the things that the team had done, and this is the actual development team, the entire band, aside from a couple of members and a couple of dancers, they decided, why not actually have the development team also replicate this in actual full stage performance?
Oh my gosh!
Combining the two memes. So I would like to reiterate at this point that the people with the shirts are actually part of the global development team and community managers and all that kinds of stuff. They just said, we're going to give the players a fantastic time. They can't be here in person, so we'll just give them a visual experience that they're going to enjoy.
That's fantastic.
The best part is you'd imagine that a lot with the memes and the way that things go in terms of the Double Dream Feed and Double Dream Dance, that it would mostly be in a Western audience, right?
Right.
Well, this is YouTube, and the Japanese people have their own version, which is called Nico Nico, and there they usually have, you know how comments are below, sort of like, or usually on the side of live streams and such? On Nico Nico, if you comment something, it'll usually travel, as long as it's safe of course, across the screen. Just to quickly explain, the W key in Japanese is usually them laughing joyfully and that kinds of stuff. So when this started happening, as you can see, there's a lot of things and comments on the screen already. It's when the Japanese audience actually started to realize what is happening that they just kind of realized, okay, this is actually what's going to happen. Lots of question marks turning into them laughing along and just being joyous about it. Everybody is just having a great time.
That is awesome.
that it's so internationally recognized, like in Japan as well. It's how do you feel about
I
that?
had a lot of I think it's fantastic. I mean, it's so exciting I'm like you. I just like seeing everybody have a great time, and I used to kind of think, okay, are they laughing at me or are they laughing with me?
Right. Yeah.
And I just decided to embrace the idea that they're laughing with me, and that if it's at my expense or not, if they're having a good time, I'm all for it. And so what do I care if I look ridiculous or not? So I just kind of embrace it and go, it's a funny thing when you're working with little kids, you have to do stuff bigger than life because that's how you get them to react. It's like you're telling a story to a little kid or something like that. And so, I know that on the videos, sometimes I do things really bigger than life because I'm trying to get the kids to move along with me. And then you put it on a little screen and it looks even more ridiculous. But you know what? It's what I do. I know it's good for kids to get up, and I guess for adults too, to get up and move and all of that. And if I can help them do that, I'm all for it. I know there was a group in Japan that I was wearing a green shirt when I did that funny feet dance on video. And there was a whole group of young men who they called them the green shirt kids or something like that. And they would meet in the park in Tokyo every week and do funny feet dance, all dressed exactly like me. And these were not like little kids. These were like 20-year-olds or something. So
that's so awesome.
And to me, it's just fantastic. And I know that that the Final Fantasy 14, I know it's wildly successful all over the world. I mean, when I was telling my nieces and nephews that I was going to be talking to you about this, they were like, you got to do it. You got to do it. They all play it and they love it.
It's absolutely insane how, when you think about it, it started as just maybe a dance, maybe for children to enjoy. And then it grows into such well, we can really call it that, an internet phenomenon where it just grows into such a large thing where all kinds of people get to enjoy it and just embrace the sheer joy of it. And sure, there are some times where people use it at sort of like an expense, but even then it's I'd like to believe that even if they do it at the expense, it's still to invoke a sense of joy in somebody and just get them to smile and have a good time for it.
I appreciate that. I hope that is the case. When it first went viral, there were, when I'm doing the dances, I'm also yelling out the instructions.
Yeah.
I'm saying to the kids, like, point over there, or, reach your hands. I'm telling them what to do. And like somebody were doing comments and I said something like, reach your hands to the audience. And one of the comments was, he thinks there's an audience. When people started making comments early on, I used to think I had to like answer all of them, and after a while there were so many I just couldn't, but I still got a kick out of reading them, and especially the ones that were saying, my buddies and I are having a great time doing the double dream hands, and they were like these frat boys from a college, or something.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun, and to be a part of something like, this Final Fantasy 14. I mean, what the heck? It's such a hip thing, and kids all over the world are doing it. And if I have this small part of it, I'm thrilled. It's wonderful. Next time they have one of their big gatherings, I want to show up and do the dance with them.
Oh, that'd be awesome, actually.
I have a website they can contact me through, or if they want to. I mean, I'm game for anything. It's like, not anything, but almost. As long as, I spend so much of my life working with kids and teachers that I have to be somewhat careful about things that I do. I mean, but I'm so gullible. I'm always like, sure, I'll try that, and sometimes, most of the time it's fine, because I think most people want you to succeed. And I did have an awful experience on America's Got Talent where they got me to come on there, and it was a bit of a setup. It wasn't a very positive experience at all, but you move on.
Soken is such a passionate producer and such a passionate creator for the community as well. One of the more somber notes that the FanFest ended on was sadly that he announced that since last year he had been dealing with cancer, of which he did not specify the type, but even then continued writing the songs for the game just because he wanted everybody in the community to still have a wonderful experience. So he's such a passionate person, and has been in remission now. And as they recorded this video, even then they were just thinking about the shared joy and happiness that they could spread over to the community just by releasing this video, because it's just a barrel of laughs, really.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, I'll sure be sending positive energy for his health, and I love people like that who just give their all to it, and it's like they measure their success in the best way. The best that he's successful if he makes people happy and gets people passionate and gets people doing their thing. That's a better way to measure success than making a lot of money or even being famous or whatever. It's just to me it says a lot about a human being that's the most important thing to them. Music plays an important and a large role in this Final Fantasy 14. It sounds like
it plays a tremendously large role because in most games, I would say that music it definitely fits the role of background music, and that it's just existing in the background to make sure that you're not having a dull experience. And whenever there's an original composition from Soken, it carries so much weight, or it carries so much passion, even in the little town songs. Like if you're just passively or casually strolling around in a town, there'll be a very nice accompanying song for it. Or if you're in an intense battle, you'll feel that intensity, especially in the last 3 years, where his composition skill has just skyrocketed even more. Saying he outdid himself on the last expansion would be an understatement, and it's only getting better.
Wow, that's exciting. Well, it's fun to hear about somebody who's fallen in the right place for them, doing the thing they were put on this planet to do, and do it so passionately and do it well. It's wonderful to see that.
So just as a final question then, do you have anything you'd like to say to the community and to the development team?
Well, it sounds that you have gotten me to think that I want to learn more about Final Fantasy 14.
Well, did you know that critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14 has a free trial and includes the entirety of Realm Reborn and the award?
It sounds like the community of Final Fantasy 14 has got the right attitude. I mean, it sounds like everybody's like just kind of enthusiastic about it. Nobody's trying to tear anything down. Everybody's sort of building up community all over the globe. And I think a game like this, that you're bringing people together of all walks of life, of all ages, of all races and nationalities, from all over the world, is exactly what our world needs right now. And if music the musical element of it can, combined with the gaming element of it and this whole community, is how we make harmony happen on our planet.
Yes.
And I think efforts like this are making our world better. All right. Thanks a lot, Roy. Take care of yourself. Now go to bed.
Thank you very much. I'll try to.